What's up, everybody? I am back. I want to make another driving to work video. You know what? Sometimes I just like to talk about stuff, and the last one I did was like 6 months ago, so I guess I just haven't been wanting to talk about stuff. But here I am, and today on my way to work, I'm about 15 minutes away, and I'm already 10 minutes late. So, well, actually, you know, it could be a photo finish. I want to talk about Sam Harris and Ben Shapiro in San Francisco. Ben Harris just put he just posted the live podcast that he did with Ben Shapiro and Eric Weinstein in San Francisco, and it was very, very anticipated. The internet just wouldn't shut up about it, and we finally saw it. And you know what? I would consider it a little bit underwhelming. I'm new to Ben Shapiro. I've only really known about him for about a year. But I've been on board with Sam Harris ever since, I bought and read the book, The Moral Landscape. That was in like 2010. So I've known Sam for a lot longer. And I was excited for this. I'm like, oh, can't wait to see what happens. Ben's only 33, and his background is in law and policy, which is a completely different field than science. Like, it's apples and oranges. You got one's, let's hate to say it, science is top tier, and you know what? He's too young. He would have had to spend all his time doing. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So they go up together, and I will say that both Ben. Well, first of all, Eric Weinstein, we love you. Your brother's awesome too. Well, actually, your brother might even be more awesome than you, Eric Weinstein. You know what? Must be nice. He didn't need to be there. Last night in San Francisco, he didn't need to be there, though he did add some meaningful stuff. But I think he kind of, he bogged down bogged down the conversation more than he helped. Because what we saw were two people talking in two different fields. So we saw Sam Harris like putting meat on the table from a scientific and a philosophical method for Ben to talk about, and then Ben, he kept responding. We actually didn't even respond to what Ben said. He would kind of do the word puzzle, the rhetoric thing that he does. And you know what? When he's not talking about policy, he just doesn't quite hold up as well. And then they talked about religion, but that didn't really go anywhere. And just in general, I was a little disappointed, and I would say that whose fault was it? It was probably nobody's fault. Sam's new to doing these live podcasts. He's only done a few. Ben was probably nervous. He's now in the deep end of the intellectual pool, or at least Sam maybe let him get his feet wet a little bit. And he just kind of came off like a lawyer. And his method of thinking was very similar to that of a lawyer. That makes sense. But lawyers didn't get us from Los Angeles to New York in 5 hours, or a cure for polio. So when you're having a conversation about the nature of reality and trying to understand it, there's one method that you have to play in, Ben Shapiro, and that's the one Sam plays in. So that was the problem. They're just playing in two different pools. And sadly, Ben really never actually addressed any of the meat that Sam put on the table, the host. And like I said, instead kind of responded with word puzzles, half of which didn't really make much sense. But there was one part that Ben did actually say something that I was like, oh man, I've never thought about it that way, though I can't remember. I listened to it last night when I was falling asleep. And, man, the last thing I remember thinking is, Sam Harris was so good at answering those questions at the ending. He really nailed it. Especially that one about without free will. How do you raise your kids? Or what do you tell your kids? Or that one was really good. He was super long-winded on the question and answer, but he seemed to be kind of in the zone. And, you know what? I don't think Ben Shapiro really had much to offer. He, other than just his personality and his wit, and everybody loved him. I think Ben Shapiro is awesome. He's obviously brilliant. But to me, last night was a bit of a misfire, maybe on both parts. And Eric Weinstein, we love you. But next time, just stay home or buy a ticket. They're $91, but I mean, if you're a contributing member, you get first crack at the tickets. Buy a ticket and just watch. Yeah, so I'm still driving to work, and I know for sure that Sam and that Ben is going to, you know, in a year from now, going to go back on the show. I'm going to listen to that audio and I think notice exactly what he's doing, and I'll bet you a year from now, and the next time they do it, Sam and Ben will be playing in the same pool, and it's going to be awesome. He's only 33, and it's just awesome to see him talking with Sam Harris. And who knows, maybe we'll get super lucky, and Ben Shapiro will decide to give up on policy and law, and just go to school to become a scientist. Because every time you see somebody like Ben that's a lawyer and talks like a lawyer and kind of, I don't, sometimes it feels as if these people are people that intellectually have blinders on, like a horse with blinders. And when you see somebody like Ben, who's so brilliant, with a little bit of horse blinders on, you just think, oh man, it's too bad he didn't get into science, because we really could have used him. But he got into being a lawyer. Anyway, I'm about to be at work. I'm gonna keep this one short. Tell me what you think. Did you watch it too, or did you listen to it too? Thanks for listening, and that's the dog. Ludwig. Anyway, have a good one.